Okay, guys, like, legitimately be honest. To Clark Kent? Anyway, hey everybody, what's up? This is Retrokid Reviews. Thinking about cosplaying a ruler of Clark Kent? I guess, who knows? This was a week late due to a lot of tech issues. Mainly my laptop of 4 years said, yeah, now's a good time to get fried before vacation. Yeah, that was one of those kinds of weeks. And breaking out the old, probably the last time I'm going to be seeing a BVS error Clark shirt around here for David Cornsworth's version of the character, Superman. So let's get this over with. Starting off at the top, this made bank in the box office, stateside-wise. Don't know the full numbers of the international box office. There might be some hiccups here and there, so go to Church with Dan in the cards for that, as usual, with opening weekends. Having said that, the movie itself will be sporadic spoilers. If you guys seen my non-spoilers last weekend, you're going to get the vibe of what I'm probably going to be saying here. So, with that all being said, and no restraint on spoilers, aside, this is actually really damn good Superman. Starting off the top of what we all see in the trailers of Clark Eden, basically the Yamcha meme of basically getting cratered near the Fortress of Solitude. And yes, my own Crypto here, Obi's gonna be in the back, so probably unironically trying to, I guess, gnaw me to wake up. Not as bad as my my cousin's new dog. Real life stuff wise, not gonna get into it. It was a weird weekend, I'm gonna be real with you. Outside of that, it was a good opening. I think they saw they might have showed the first 4 minutes in the marketing later down the road. The Fortress of Solitude itself is fantastically done. All the Superman robots are, I think, Guardians and James Gunn alumni. Probably the biggest spoiler that everyone's known about Clark's history is that, yes, he is the last son of Krypton. He is an immigrant story, long story short, to get that weird baggage out of the way. And to put it bluntly, Bradley Cooper as Jor-El is a really good move. Weirdly, I don't know, it's probably years of like hangover beers that probably got the vibe of what you're looking for a Jor-El type. The mannerisms is not bad. It's not like Christopher Reeve's era weird with that era of actors. Long story short, outside of that, and my cat probably going to be all over my TV for the remaining half of the review. What do we think about Crypto before we get to the real meat of the plot of this whole movie? It's fantastic. I think throughout the marketing they said it was modeled after one of James Gunn's foster dogs, and I think it's the same CG team that helped him throughout the Guardian series, more particularly volume 3, so go to the cards there if I mentioned that, and I'll try to leave the socials for that VFX team. They did really good work. You could tell, like, even down to the details of like Crypto's fur is very lived in. It's been around. It's a foster dog, long story short, in a Kryptonian sense, but yeah, still got that foster dog vibes coming off of what they modeled after James Gunn's dog. Outside of that, the plot of the movie is pretty simple. Basically, it's pure Gene Hackman era kind of Lex trying to smear Clark in any way he could because he's like 3 years in the game. So Gunn is kind of following the rule set of Matt Reeves as the Batman and have like a seasoned, already had a couple of years in member of the Trinity when it comes to the Justice League members themselves. Speaking of, the Justice Gang is Maxwell Lord sponsored in this timeline, and I think Max Lord is going to be a Sean Gunn cameo right at the tail end of the movie, but I'm pretty sure he's going to have more involvement in Peacemaker Season 2, so I'll figure that out come next month when that drops in August. Outside of that, Justice Gang themselves, I think the highlight and the best out of the three, I would say, would be Mr. Terrific's scene. Don't remember the actor's name off the top of my head, hence why we have the IMDb for times like this, played by... Wow, that is a short list. So, yeah, for those who also don't know, that actor was in X-Men First Class. So, long story short, Doran got redemption for being a really banger core pillar of a lot of, like, mid-tier level league teams later in the comics. So, and he has a really good backstory, long story short, if anyone wants to take time into, like, Trinity members of the league, please go to the wiki down below. He's got a really good history. I don't have a poll list so far of what's the best comic out of him. The only time I've remembered him was throughout the Justice League animated series. More or less, it's the same thing there. The T-Spheres themselves all basically gave me Yondu vibes from, I want to say, Guardians Volume 3, especially in the beach fight later down the road. But before we get to the beach fight, we gotta talk about Rachel Brosnahan's Lois Lane. Wow, she was dead on for not just comic accurate Lois at this point in the timeline, but like almost like Superman the Animated Series kind of attitude, like the back and forth with Clark throughout. Also in this universe, spoilers wise, they're like 3 months in, to the point I think even Perry had to mention it at the end of the movie. He's like, so are they dating or what? 3 months, sir. Got it, Jimmy. Speaking of that, Jimmy, I think you guys probably saw the memes throughout the weekend. Apparently that guy got more Riz than me, so wow, just saying that off the top of my head. But yeah, for his actor, the more I saw this guy, he looked and sounded more like a Jamie Allen White type. Speaking of which, this will probably be a retro rec later in the week of just my overall thoughts with The Bear season 4. Might as well get ahead of it before end of the year top 5, the TV side of the video. So hey, who's to say? Having said that, there's a lot of cast I got to get through. Alec Tudyk for, I want to say, Superman 4 robot, let her be just a Gary. Really good. If you've seen my review of Andor season 2, you can definitely tell that Tudyk has like the playful yet happy yet half serious robot type down to a T. Like it's almost as good as his Resident Alien half of his filmography. I haven't seen that series, but friend of the channel, Trenchman, otherwise known as Austin Trench, loves that show to death. So again, I'll leave links down below for if you ever got around to reviewing the series there. Outside of that, there's really not much else to talk about other than the stunts, the choreography, and the Superman himself, David Cornsweet. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm very glad I delayed this review, because for my original taping, I almost called him another Henry Cavill British to doing an American accent, because I think if I'm misremembering or I'm remembering correctly, in the marketing, he sounded very American, probably Ohio-based acting, and ironically parallels to Christopher Reeve. Also had Juilliard-style acting, which means they like to do the physicality, like to do a lot of like slapstick kind of like movement with their theater acting, which probably played off better with this version of Superman, because throughout most of the movie you could see him just working through it. You could see him just like taking it as another day in the office, just being like, yeah, I'm basically the symbol of hope and all that, but it's a hard job at times, and you could see the frustration in him at times. You could see that it's hard to just keep this up, keep the double life going, and just proving Lex wrong in any way you can. So when you get to the third act and the speech that I think most people probably saw linked in the social feeds all this weekend is probably the most brutally honest, I want to say, Clark would be in the comics. It gives me a lot of Superman versus the Elite vibes. If anyone's seen that animated movie, again, go to the retro trailer for that. I might do a retro review, because that does feel a lot like this Superman. Like, yeah, he gets put down on, yeah, he's basically an overpowered person, but even he wants to just chill and just be normal at times. And it's just hard, and you can see it, and he still sees the good in people, even Lex, which is weird to say. So, with that said, I guess to close out this video, what are my overall thoughts with Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor? To close out this and the plot in general. Pretty good. His plot is simple. It's smear campaign using fake tweets, basically generate a hate machine and everything, and have two foreign nations basically be used as new landmass. A lot of parallels to nowadays stuff, which everyone's basically talked to that. But my overall thoughts of the plan and his whole cadence as Lex as a whole is very Gene Hackman, but also just the attitude and the confidence that you saw with Michael Rosenbaum during Smallville. Like, you can tell he based a lot of both of those Lexes more than anything else. So much so, I think he got viral talking about that with Rosenbaum himself for his Talkville podcast. Yeah, I'm amazed they didn't call it Small Talk either. But yeah, does this mean, am I going to finally get around to doing a retro review of Smallville? TBD, just to be honest with you on that one. But no, honestly, his Lex was really good. You could see the smarminess, you could see the tech bro angle of it that BVS Lex almost tried in his case, but missed the mark at times. That they were trying to go full evangelizing, and it wasn't really the case there at Clark at times in the books. Because yeah, ultimately he is an immigrant. He is an immigrant story. He always has and always will be, because that's what it was like since the 30s, since his first established years in the comics, even now today, 80 plus years on. So with that said, there's not really too much I want to talk about before I get to the end cards. Final rating, it is a hard 8.5 out of 10. It is close in my high 8s. It is definitely pretty close to my high 8s. It's still top 5 of the year, without question, with this movie, and I will definitely be talking about this again with some rewatches, give more context when I get to the end of the year stuff, but I do love the Kents. Like, they're grounded, they're very senior parents, and you could definitely tell she's, like, talking over the phone, like it's a speaker comm system or something, like old tech. It's, like, it's fun, and, I won't spoil too much about a lot of the soundtrack that got spoiled and been played to death. But when you hear the whole punk rock kindness theme, you get the vibe. You can see why he wants to make that the new punk rock in many aspects. Yeah, rambles aside, please go see this movie. Please go see Superman. Please go see Cornswood's version of the character. This is the best version I think I've seen in years. I guess also speaking of Smallville parallels to close out the this movie, sorry, not this movie, this review. I think he also, much like Holt, snuck out at times and just watched Smallville, and a lot of his friends kind of gave him like, hey, you kind of got the build like Welling. You ever thought you could be in Superman someday? Again, destiny was calling one way or another for these guys to make a decent, accurate version of these characters across the board, even down to Perry, to Tessmacher. Eve's actor was kind of almost like old school CW, I guess colorful yet comicalness. Fantastical at times too, but like there's a lot of buzzwords, a lot of isms, but ultimately I highly recommend this movie. You guys should definitely see this. No, I'm not spoiling the mid-credit and the post-credit. They're generally cool in of themselves, and you'll know why when you see it. Lastly, for spoilers, I guess to lead into the end cards finally, you get a Supergirl cameo, which is actually really surprising, and I get a good look at Bailey Alcock's version of the character. I haven't seen her time in the House of Dragon series with the Game of Thrones prequel, but she looks cool. She's definitely having a lot of fun out at Red Sun era galaxies and stuff like that. Yeah, I won't spoil too much about Crypto's cuteness throughout all the movie because it's really cool in and of themselves. And I think I DM'd this to one of my friends, and I said I will sit through the entire New 52 again, 15 years old, and run through a wall for this dog because that's how cute it is just on the CG front. So, having all those parallels aside, yeah, please go see this movie. It is absolutely worth your time. So, with the end cards coming up, first hand here to my previous video, which was, if I'm not mistaken, my Jurassic World review, or probably my retro news in the lead up to this movie. My other hand here to my non-spoilers review for Superman. Also, later this week, I'm going to try to do a Bat Family short of how they all feel about this version of Superman. And, probably the last time you're going to see this shirt here, because I'm going to definitely upgrade to this Cornswood version here. To subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell down below. And until next time, I am Retrokid Reviews saying, so, okay, they canonized Red Suns, they canonized how the Yellow Sun works with Clark. How are they going to be with the Blue Sun in the sequel, right?